So Aaron Rodgers went on Pat McAfee's show today and said this.
That's something you've thought about? Is that something that you know for sure? Or are you also just kind of taking it week by week, seeing how your body's feeling and seeing how the mind feels as you go throughout the season?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a 1-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
His answer is valid. I get it. He's played in the league how many years? His resume is stamped. 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champ. We've been over this. We were even talking about this with Rodgers before the season. People wanted to hang it up and not even play in 2025. That's his prerogative. And same thing by saying this is most likely my last season. I think he's just being honest too. I'm pretty sure this is it. I only signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers here. Probably it. At the same time, can I not like the response? I would have preferred the cliche, robotic answer of, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to take it a week at a time this season and we'll make that decision when it comes to a close, when the 2025 season comes to a close. Because now, what's the conversation? This is Aaron Rodgers last year, farewell tour. A little bit more focused on Rodgers and it being his last season as opposed to the 2025 Steelers and trying to win a championship. Not saying that's what Rodgers was trying to do here, because I feel like when you get to his age, you've been in the league for how long, you've been in the public eye for how long, and answering these questions and doing media and stuff like that, you're tired of doing the skirt around, tired of doing the run around for your answers, and just want to tell it out as, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. So, I respect the answer. I get the answer. It's valid. At the same time, I wouldn't have minded being left in the dark here on this one. No pun intended. Still keep things open-ended. And maybe I'm coming from it from a selfish standpoint in that I wouldn't mind having Rodgers back for another season in 2026, at least depending on how he plays in 2025, because if he goes off for 35, 36, 37 touchdowns, single-digit picks, Steelers go on a playoff run, I think we'd be stupid not to consider bringing Rodgers back for another season. But it takes two to tango. That's not all on the Steelers to decide. If Rodgers doesn't want to play football anymore, he wants to call it quits, he thinks retirement is the best path for the rest of his life, then so be it. It just leaves the Steelers now in a more uncertain spot with the quarterback position, or at least it leaves an option off the table for 2026, which isn't the end of the world. So be it. Life moves on. It's just that did we really need to know this information right now? I guess that's really what I'm getting at. And it's not even, that's the other thing too. It's not like he definitively said, this is it. The door is still open. He said, I'm pretty sure this is it. So why did we need to know that then? If it's still a little bit up in the air, if it's not a definitive that this is it, why not go with the more cliche route of saying we're going week by week? I'll focus on that answer at the end of the season. It's not the biggest of deals, not the end of the world, not the biggest distractions. There could be worse things, but I don't know. I wouldn't have minded it just still being left up in the air. Like I said, from a maybe a selfish standpoint, but also from a why we don't need this to be a part of the conversation right now. Right now, all right, you got a few weeks left in the regular season. Maybe that's more appropriate. Or at least midway through the regular season. I don't know. There may have been a more appropriate time. The more optimal time, the most optimal time would have just been when the season is over. But oh well. I mean, he's just being honest. It is what it is. He did have some other interesting things to say though. Will Howard, obviously that has been a topic of conversation. Rodgers mentoring Will Howard. He added something though in this McAfee interview that we haven't really heard just yet about their dynamic. Have a listen.
But Will's a rookie, and so I pulled him aside during one of the days and I said, "Listen, I want to help you as much as possible, but I'm not gonna overstep my bounds. If you want assistance, I'm here, buddy. I want to help you. From the playbook, I have my own mistakes and things that I needed to learn from. That's where everything's going to come from. I thought he looked really sharp. He made a bunch of great throws. I think there's definitely some things I can help him with, and some things that are different at the pro level. And I'd love to help Will and set him up to have a chance to be the guy for the next who knows how long."
And what I'm referring to there is him saying he wants Will Howard to kind of be the guy for the however many years in the future, for the next 10, 15 years. That's kind of cool. I know a lot of people want Will Howard to be the guy. I wouldn't be opposed to Will Howard being the guy. I think he was an excellent draft pick. You got to think, I will say this, Will Howard being on the roster for this year, and if this is it for Aaron Rodgers 1 year, and then he's going to pass it off to Will Howard, Mason, and then maybe whoever we draft for 2026, you got to think a guy like Will Howard is going to have a pretty good upper hand if there's a competition between him and a guy we may draft early in the 2026 draft. Just being a year under Aaron Rodgers, and the dude, we talked about him in this year's draft and his potential and all that. Like he's got skills. He's got height, he's got the size, he's got the speed. Not top end speed, but enough to be a good mobile quarterback. Got the arm, got the championship pedigree, got the leadership. He's got all that stuff. He's got all those intangibles. Was probably drafted way too late in the 6th round. Could have easily been like a 3rd round pick. He's got that going for him. And then he's got a year under a Hall of Fame legend quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers pouring into him. Like, yeah, you got to think Will Howard's going to have some sort of edge over whoever the Steelers probably draft in 2026. No matter how high of a prospect, or no matter how talented that quarterback is, there's something to be said for the Will Howard path that he's on right now. Not only you talk about his college story and his college career and all the adversity that he had to overcome, and then ultimately winning a championship at Ohio State while dealing with adversity in season at Ohio State, but then gets drafted by the Steelers. Good organization, good structure there. And then you have Aaron Rodgers showing you the ropes. Watch out, man. Watch out for Will Howard. I mean, I don't think that's something to sneeze at, what Rodgers was saying there. Then Rodgers made it a theme, kind of capped off the interview with saying just everything right about Pittsburgh and the Steelers, shouting out teammates and shouting out Steeler legends.
The fact that I can come back to Pittsburgh, play for Mike, get to know the organization, be a part of a special franchise that's had such incredible success, and be able to play and follow in the footsteps of the Terry Bradshaws and Franco Harris and Lynn Swann and
hell yeah,
Jack Lambert, Mean Joe Green, and then all the guys that played in the 90s and the 2000s, Jerome Bettis and Big Ben, all-time greats. And just to be a guy that can put on the same uniform is pretty special for me, and that's all I need this year. It's just to go out there, have a chance to compete. That's why I'm working so hard, because I want to put myself in a position to be able to play 20 games this year and 20 great ones.
So you like to hear that as well. Yeah, I thought it was a good interview. If you guys want to check it out, you know where to find it. It's on McAfee's YouTube channel. But these were kind of like the highlights. These were kind of like the main points of discussion that would be worthwhile to react to. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments on what Rodgers had to say in this McAfee interview. Got a live show later, 6 p.m., Bleacher Report, if you guys want to stop through. But that's it for now. Stay chilling. Peace.